we have to understand clearly that Sri Krishna is a very, very important deity within us, because he is the Vishnu who resides in the void, in the Navi. He is the one who generates dharma within us. But Sri Krishna is the one who says that I come on this earth when there is a glani, means demise of dharma. When the dharma becomes weak, then he comes on this earth and then he destroys the people who are responsible for bringing dharma to this level of doom. The second thing he says that I protect the saints. I protect the saints and I kill all those who are devils or who are satanic, who are destructive. These are his promises which he gave long time back as Sri Krishna. As Vishnu, we know him only as the one who is the giver of dharma, mainly. But all his potent qualities really were expressed when he came as Sri Krishna. In Sri Krishna's own words, one can say that once you are a realized soul and you have reached that highest position in your awareness, to you everything is futile. But just now, what you have to do is to save the dharma. So you have to fight them. You have to fight the negative forces. You have to fight the wrongdoers.
Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge.
Vishnu Maya. That's Vishnu Maya. Rainbow is her sign, that after rainbow there won't be any. That's the sign that there won't be any more of lightning. If you see the rainbow, there won't be any lightning after that. That assurance. Yeah. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That's the power. Remember, that's the power. You all have to have that power within it. So when you speak even a word, it acts like a light. And then like a rainbow, both are the powers of Vishnu Maya. When rainbow appears, that means there won't be any lightning. And when there is lightning, there won't be any rainbow. So, you are also the rainbow. That means you can create beautiful colors out of one white color. That's what you are capable of. So you have to show that magic. And also you have to show sometimes that lightning effect. But better take more the lightning inside and the rainbow outside. Would be better. Then this Vishnu Maya, who is the thunder, we can call, who is the electrical charge which is liberated by the friction of these black clouds, which actually is a catalyst for rain. It's a catalyst for rain. This start acting on such people. That is, they suddenly get a shock. They become extremely sensitive people. They get nervous. And this nervousness makes them think, why are we nervous? What is the problem? Like the exposure of their guilt comes through the Vishnu Maya power. I have to tell you about also the origin of Vishnu Maya, which is very interesting. Vishnu Maya was the sister of Shree Krishna, who was born after Shree Krishna was born. Actually, she was not his own sister, but she was the daughter of Nanda. And when Sri Krishna was taken over and was put in the care of Nand and Yashoda, they gave their own daughter in his place. And the father of Sri Krishna brought it back. So, when Kansa came, the uncle, you all know about the story, to ask about the 8th child, they said, this is the child. He said, but this is not a man, this is a woman. He took the child in his hand and did like this and threw it in the sky. And there she went, and there she announced that Sri Krishna is already incarnated, he is living, and he is your killer. So she is the announcer. She is the announcer of the incarnations. She is the announcer of something good that is going to happen. Also, she is the one who can burn things which are not spiritually all right. Sri Krishna was first born in a very difficult situation, as you know, and he was carried from there to Gokul, where he was brought up by Yashoda. Now there he started his playfulness. So you have to be playful in life. You have to create fun and joy. He didn't say that you sit down like an old sage somewhere in the Himalayas, but you mix up with children. You talk to them, you play with them, have fun. At the same time, he was destroying negative forces which acted upon him. In his playfulness only he has done it. As a child only he has done it. How matured he was as a child, you can see that he killed Putana, and there are 2 horrible Rakshasas also. He killed them. At the same time, he was playing with the gopis and teasing them, troubling them, making fun of them. Why? Because he wanted them to be playful. When he was a child, he did all kinds of pranks and things. It was nothing but sahaja. It was not sitting like this and seriously telling about things. But with little bit here and there, he tried to improve their chakras and raise their kundalinis. Of course, realization was not possible in a game. You cannot do it. Supposing I just play about with you, you cannot get your realization. Because at the Sahasrara stage, you have to completely recognize. It has to be a game of serenity. Of course, you can just raise your hand and give realization to them. But you have to bring them to serene level. If you just came and said, all right, you now play about, it would be all finished. You have to sit down and meditate. Oh, he has said it in Gita, you have to do it. So, one could not say that all the time if you are playing, if you are just singing songs, or if you are in a very happy mood, a mirthful mood, then it's the end of Sahaja Yoga. It is not. It's a serious matter. And his power was Radha. Radha. Ra means energy, Dha means the one which sustains. Radha. So the Dharayati sa dharma, as they say, in the same way, Radha, the one who sustains the energy. So his collectivity was so great. Narada was the one who used to create problems, you see. He went and told one of the wives that, oh, this Krishna, he does not love you. He only loves Radha. You are under wrong ideas that he loves you. He just loves Radha, he does not love anyone. She's the one he really cares for. So they got jealous. And they went and told Sri Krishna that, see, we think that you only love Radha, you're just befooling us. And we are not going to be your wives anymore the way you are. In your heart of hearts you love Radha. He said, who told you that? He said, Narada. He said, all right, I know this Narada. So Narada came to see Sri Krishna, and Narada then heard a great scream from Sri Krishna. Narada said, what has happened? He said, oh, terrible pain in my stomach. Oh no, terrible pain. I just can't get over it. So Narada got a fright and he said, now what should we do? You better tell us the medicine. He said, if you can give the dust of your feet for me to drink, I'll be all right. See the tricks of the witness. So he said, oh God. Narada said, I can't give, because I know he is the primordial being. I can't give dust of my feet for him to drink. That would be such a bad thing to do. And I'll have all the sins of the world upon myself. I'm not going to do it. He said, I'm not doing it. He said, anybody who thinks he's my bhakta can do it. And you can ask my wives, that's a better idea. So Narada went round. He said, oh, he's in terrible pain. Why don't you give the dust of your feet? He said, no, nothing doing. See, as it is, he doesn't love us. In his heart is only Radha. And he wants us to give the dust of our feet. We are not mad. We'll have no punyas. We'll have no good deeds for us. And what's going to happen? So, Sri Krishna said, if you cannot give me, then what am I to do now? I've got terrible pain. And somebody has to do it. So Narada said, what do you suggest yourself? He said, you go and ask Radha. She's the only person left now. So he went to Gokul. And the Vrindavan, that area, has got the dust of yellow color.
like a pollen, like pollen, the color of a pollen. And he went and told that he's got pain in the stomach. And now what to do? He said, and what did he say? He said, if you give the dust off your feet, it'll be alright. He said, take it, just now you take it. He said, aren't you worried? He said, about what? He's the primordial being. You're giving your dust. What will happen? She didn't feel guilty. She just says, it's alright, take it off. And he scrapped some of the dust. He said, aren't you worried you'll be losing completely in your punyas and all that? She said, oh, don't you worry. And she said, he's the one who makes me do all the sins, and he's the one who makes me love others, and he does everything. I'm not bothered. It is his lookout. If he has asked for it, better take it. So he went to Krishna. The beauty of the story is here. He went to Sri Krishna and told him that she's given the thing. He said, "Love, bring it, darling." And he drank. And Krishna, he said, but I was surprised at her answer, that it is you who do all kinds of sins and this and that. And you are the one who makes her do love others, and whatever he does is sin or things, she doesn't bother about it. She's not worried about papa and punya. She's not worried about sin and good deeds. She said, it's he who does everything. I have nothing to bother. Let him do what he likes. If he wants it, I'll give. I'm surprised she's not bothered. So Shri Krishna said, all right, you just watch just now. Watch my heart. And Shri Krishna opened his heart, and in the heart was Radha. It was a lotus, and the lotus had the pollen, and her feet were touching that pollen. If her feet are touching that pollen there, then what is the punyas? And what are the apunyas? If her feet are in his heart, then what is to decide? See the beauty. The poetry of the divine is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. If you understand the poetry, then you will never feel guilt. You are unnecessarily taking out thorns out of flowers. The beauty is so much. It's so beautiful it is. The whole thing is so poetic that to understand that poetry, you have to cut down all these ideas of cursing yourself and saying bad things to yourself. Leave everything to the divine in full understanding and in full love. You don't need much imagination for that. It's just when you go to your heart and see for yourself how much you have got. Just think.
So one should understand that if you have to be Sri Krishna, then it's not only fun, it's not only enjoyment. To say that Sri Krishna established the Leela, but first if you remember his life, how he was born, his parents were arrested, then how he was taken to Gokul, from there how he killed so many Rakshasas who came to kill him, and then how he went back to kill Kamsa, and after that he said it's a Leela. So like that we too have this problem within ourselves, that we have to first of all kill the Kamsa within us. We have to kill the other Rakshasas within us. We have to do all these things, and then we can say it's a Leela. So he has a double life. One side with the gopis, he was playing Leela, and also with the Gopas, he was playing Leela. So that is how it was done, to show how everything is a play in one side of the life when he was a child. And then again he showed that how he had to fight the Rakshasas on the other side. That he did on his own. He worked it out on his own, and he never bothered others, the gopis and all of them. Even he had to fight the Kaliya, or the great serpent. He also did that. But as far as his friends were concerned, he was playing ball with them. when the ball fell down, then he went and fought valiant. So Sri Krishna, of course, was fully aware of himself that he was the full incarnation of Sri Vishnu and that he had reached the highest point now. And he has to establish the Leela concept. And that's how the Leela started. So we should be pregnant. We should be beautiful. We should be generous. We should know what we have got from the divine as the gift. Then it becomes a Leela. When you have that power of Sri Krishna, it becomes a Leela. So even now sometimes I find very petty things coming up and very petty things happening in Sahaja is surprising. You know, everything is a Leela when we become part and parcel of the whole thing. Then it's a Leela, not before.
He is Kubera. He doesn't need any money, of course. He achieves money. And not only that, he lived in money. We started Sahaja without a single pie. I never had any problem. So, one thing, as Kubera, he is the supplier of money. He looks after people who don't have money. He gives money to people who stand by truth, who enjoy the life of truth. It is his work that people enjoy wealth. Otherwise they don't. They have this much, they want to have more. That means they don't enjoy the wealth. They have a little, they want to get much more. Why? Because they are not enjoying whatever they have. But after self-realization, you will see that you enjoy whatever you have. You enjoy it fully, absolutely, and you don't hanker after something that is not there. Doesn't matter if you don't have. Sahaja is one thing which gives you a complete vision of the destruction that can follow this Maya business. It is something, such a insight that you don't have to do anything with it. I'm different, I told you, I don't understand it at all. But even if you understand the value of money, even if you understand that money can bring lots of things to you, despite that you don't look at it, just turn your face. That is the sign of a real sahajogi. To him, it doesn't matter temperamentally. It's not that he does something for that or tells his mind, nothing. Temperamentally, he doesn't care for money, just because he's above it. The one who is above money is a real sahajogi.
That his character was Madhurya, meaning the sweetness. Sweetness. He always says, sweet like honey. So, when he talked to anyone, or he communicated with anyone, it was through sweetness. And this communication, if you have not developed, then you are nowhere near yoga. To talk to someone sweetly, automatically, everything is madhurya for him. His talking, his actions, his face, everything is Madhuri. So when we talk of communications, first of all, the greatest thing is the communication between human beings. And when we have to think of the communication with the human beings, many people think that by aggression you will communicate better, which is not true. I mean, if somebody wants to get something out of someone, say, so you go there and just talk. I have to have, how can you do it? This, that. As it is, it's no. But if you are sweet and start talking sweetly, then 99% will definitely dissolve. So to dissolve people with sweetness, how to do it, that trick one has to learn. How with sweetness you can dissolve people. This is one of his special qualities, that you talk to someone in such a manner, genuinely, in a very sweet manner, and the problem between you and that person will be dissolved. Absolutely. So our right we have to have a temperament, a culture, a style, a behavior, which has got the quality of Sri Krishna, which is called as Madhurya, means melodious. Melodious. We should talk in such a manner that it should be melodious. The person who listens to you listens as if he is listening to the flute of Sri Krishna. The voice of a sahajayogi should be sweet, like that. When you talk to someone, it should be melodious. It should not be aggressive at all, but on the contrary, it should be melodious. It should not be sarcastic. It should not hurt another person. Any word that hurts others cannot be coming from the proper type of right Vishuddha. So in no way one should hurt. I wish all the Sahajogis develop that melodious voice of Sri Krishna as their Vishuddhi is awakened. Madhurya, in his behavior, Madhurya is, see, while talking to someone, there are so many gestures by which you can express your Madhurya. The collectivity that he preached through Rasa Leela and all that, that he brought in his, I should say, adolescent age, was also remarkable, that he made people dance together, pray together, to be festive, and to know that you are a witness. You are not a slave of religion or of your meditation, but you have to be festive. And he got this introduction of holy festivals and many others like Rakhi Bandhan. All these he brought in because he thought this is how the society will be cleansed, and also they will have a lot of enjoyment. So the idea of enjoyment, he brought it into the lives of people. In a little childish pranks used to play on people just to tease them and make them turn to something that was very great enjoyment. Now his enjoyment was enjoyment of the spirit. The enjoyment, pure enjoyment.
I'll tell you what. The individual has to grow to understand that you are collective. When the individual really grows up, becomes the spirit, it realizes that it is the spirit. because they are still children, not grown. They are not yet grown people. They are not grown-ups. When you grow, means you develop. When you evolve to your maximum state, you become the spirit and you realize that you are collective. It's not lecturing. It's not talking. It's realization itself. When you become the spirit, spirit is the collective being within you. And in a way you are, in a way. Why are you bothered about Afghanistan? Why are you worried about Vietnam? Everywhere you go, you create problems. But you are worried about it. But when you really evolve, you become the spirit. And when you become the spirit, you are collective automatically. You start feeling others. You start feeling others' chakras. What can you do? You become. So the complete individuation is complete collectivity. But it's one-sided. Growth of ego is cancer. Here the individual means you become a big, thick-headed ego. That's all. This is not individual. This is Mr. Ego, the stupid. The stupidity. It's real stupidity, I tell you. And where are you individuals? Just see that. Very stupid.
The another side of Sri Krishna was that he was extremely creative. In his childhood he did all these things, these pranks. And when he became a grown-up person, he became the king of Dwarika, of that area. And he used to dress up like a king only. After all, he was a king. When he was a child, he used to wear a small little piece of feather from the peacock. But when he became the king, he was wearing all the things, and he used to sit on the throne and talk to people in that manner. All that greatness was there, and he was extremely creative. He built a beautiful, very, very beautiful castle, or you can say palace, in Dwarika, out of gold. Can you believe it? Sri Krishna did it. And it was all then covered with water. Now the intellectuals in India, all trained by Western people, I think, said that it's not possible. There's nothing in the water, and he never built his palace there. It's all a story, just like a myth. But some people believed in it, and they dug up. They went down and they found there was a very big palace. There was gold a little bit left, but not all of it was there. And they were amazed, such a huge, big palace he had made. Under the water it had gone, but it was there. Like this, all these incarnations who came were extremely creative. If you are not creative, what's the use of self-realization? Now, what is the greatest creative thing you can do very easily is to make others sahajayogies. That is the easiest and most joy-giving thing, is to make others sahajayogies and give them the blessings of the divine, which they have been seeking for ages. By giving them, you don't know what a solace, what a blessing you give them. So now you have got your self-realization. You got it very easily, I must say. They all say that it is a instant nirvana. Sahaja is instant nirvana, it's true. But whatever you get so easily and instantly, you don't understand the value of that. A spiritual person's reactions are very, very different. In the life of Sri Krishna, you can see that he had a friend who was very poor, and he wanted to meet Sri Krishna. And the wife of the friend gave him some rice krispies, as you call them. And that's, take for your friend, you must take something for your friend. He was a little shy, you know. And when he went to Sri Krishna was in his palace, and the people at the door said, no, you can't meet him. He said, all right, you just go and tell him that Sudama has come. She was sitting on the throne discussing something, and he said, Sudama has come. He rushed out. I went to the door and hugged him again and again. And he said, why are you standing here? He took him and put him on the throne that he was supposed to occupy. And he told his wives, please come and wash his feet. And then they brought for him clothes and all that. He had a bath. He made him sleep on his bed. See the love of Sri Krishna. He had very dirty feet, all were cracked. He tried to put on that some sort of a medicine by which it would be all right. He tried to do whatever was possible to him to cure those cracks. And he asked him to sleep on his bed and asked the ladies to fan him so that he doesn't feel hot. See, the compassion of Sri Krishna is shown so beautifully. Are we that compassionate? There was no need for him to do that. It was no drama, nothing. But his heart. He took a spontaneous decision. When he heard Sudama is there, he just rushed there. He just felt so happy that my old friend has come. If a sahajayogi respects somebody who is a governor, I can't understand. The spirit is above everything and does not respect a sahajayogi, there's something wrong with him. He should understand that the spiritual person is higher than all these people who have these, all kinds of these big names behind them. And that love is shown in everybody's life. All the saints, all the incarnations, everyone had that love which was above everything else. Without expecting anything. Not doing it just to expect something from them. It is a kind of a personality which really reflects God's love. That reflection should come from you. You are sahajayogies, that doesn't mean that you are something higher than others. But you are different. You are above them. You have no superiority, that's why you are different. You are so humble, that's why you are different. You are so joyous, you are so peaceful, that's why you are humble. Sri Krishna's speciality was that he always supported people who were realized souls, who were on the right path, who are doing righteous things. He would never support anybody who may be well off, who may be a great thing, like a great king was Duryodhana. He invited Sri Krishna to his house, to his big palace, to be his guest. Sri Krishna said, "I am sorry." He went to Vidura, who was the son of a maid, Dasiputra. Because Vidura was a realized soul. Because he was a realized soul, to him he was much higher, much greater than Duryodhana, who was a ruler, because he was a crook, because he was a bad man. So, the discrimination between good and bad becomes one in your mind, becomes one of your inner temperament. Then you are always very much satisfied. Because you know you are not doing something that is wrong. The discrimination is the gift of Sri Krishna. Apart from anything else, he gives us the gift of discrimination. That is his style, I should say, to teach you how to discriminate. And then you become experts on discrimination on vibrations. On vibrations, you can judge everything so clearly, so beautifully. Others may not agree with you, that's a different point. But you know what is right and what is wrong. And that is what Sri Krishna's gift is.
So this divine discretion is a very, very important thing which we should see how it works and should be satisfied with. Not to feel bad that you have missed a chance or anything, but you must feel very happy that this thing has happened and that your divine discretion has taken on. So, sometimes it appears that in that divine discretion you may do something wrong, you have done something wrong. But if it is divine, ultimately it will turn out to be very good. I gave you a very basic example, but that is also very true when you practice surgery. The discretion of divine discretion is extremely important to play a very great part in our lives, because this divine discretion gives us the real joy of our being, of ourself, of such. The another quality which Sri Krishna has, which we can express through our right Vishuddhi, is diplomacy. But there are two types of diplomacies. One is genuine, one is artificial. In the genuine diplomacy, you do not have to take to a certain standard, or you don't have to read some books to know what is diplomacy. Is genuinely it comes to you. The whole thing works very sweetly in such a genuine manner. I have used it many a times myself, and you all can use it also many a times. That's only possible if you don't get angry with someone. Not possible if you are angry. The diplomacy is not convincing anybody with his intellect or by temper or anything, but it is to melt away another person by your goodness, by your good words, by your sweet works, by your forgiving nature. This quality he had, and he tried this on many people. It worked on some, it did not work on some. He didn't feel it's a failure. It's the reaction of the another person which is important to be seen. So this quality of right Vishuddhi you should have is to talk to others and melt them away.
So, one has to know that what is the essence of all this diplomacy. Can you tell me? What is the essence of this diplomacy? Is benevolence. You have to achieve the benevolence of the whole humanity. This is the essence of it. If you are doing it, you are not doing for yourself, for your gain, you are not doing for the gain of any particular person, but you are doing it for the benevolence of the whole humanity. So, once you know this is the essence, so what is the need to shout? By shouting, you are not going to achieve anything. So, to play around with it and bring it to that point, which is benevolence. But he talked of joy, and he never talked of renunciation. He never talked that you give up your family, you give up your children, you give up everything. Never, never. He said, you must enjoy. Enjoy with detachment. For people it is very difficult to understand. How can it be it is without detachment? With attachment you can never enjoy. If you are attached to something, you cannot enjoy anything in a full way. Like supposing you are attached to your child. Very simple thing, you are attached to your child. If you are attached to your child, then you will be bothered about things which should not be there, which will not give joy to the child either. You will not allow your child, say, to go out or to talk to people, whatever it is, all kinds of restrictions you will put. But if you have really the divine discretion, then you will know with whom he should talk, where he should go, what he should enjoy, and you will see that he enjoys life. Any attachment with anything doesn't give you the full view of that person, of that thing. If you are detached, then you can see it, say, from above him, above the thing. If you are detached, you become thoughtlessly aware also. It is a kind of a state I am talking about, where Sri Krishna told Arjuna that I will not fight. So in between me and the army, my army you have to select. So Kauravas said, no, we'll take our army. Your army. You give us your army. And we'll strengthen our army. But Arjuna said, I don't want army. I want you. You don't want to fight, it's all right. Because though he will be there in a witness state only, he won't be fighting, but his power will act. He doesn't have to fight. He doesn't have to do anything but his own power, which is outwardly is silent, but will act, and that is how we will win the war. So this power of witnessing, you all should develop. Try to develop it. That when you are reacting, stop reaction. Stop reaction about everything. You will be amazed. You will find yourself a very, very powerful person In the sense, you will have no ambitions, you will have no desires, you will have no special fondness or anything. But just you are witnessing the drama.
So many aspects of his being have been described in so many of my lectures to you. But the greatest and greatest of all the aspects of this primordial being was that he was the Yogeshwara. He was the god of yoga, Yogeshwara. He was the Lord of our union with the divine. Without his permission or without his sanction, we cannot be sahajayogies. He was Yogeshwara, and a real yogi is a person who gets this Yogeshwara awakened within him. The word yoga that we understand is the union of our attention with the divine. But still we do not realize the implications. What does it mean? What should happen to us? Of course, you get powers. As soon as you become the spirit, you get powers. One of the powers you get is of collective consciousness. That is also the gift of Sri Krishna. And that you start feeling the collectivity. Your ego and superego is sucked in. So you get rid of your karmas and your conditionings. And a new sprouting of the new life for the new age starts. But still, what is Yogeshwara? Leeladhara is the one for whom this whole universe is a play. That he is at the axis and for the whole periphery is nothing but a play. Because everything is false. Except for your spirit, everything is false. Is all a joke going on, you can say, a drama going on, nothing so serious. Spirit is the only truth within us. The rest is all untruth. But he is Yogeshwara. That's the main point. And to do duty to him, first and foremost thing is you have to develop that purity of a Yogeshwara. He is Ishvara. He is your Ishvara. You are not Ishvaras, but you are at least the yogis. We have to be the yogis first, then he is our Ishvara. Otherwise he doesn't want to rule you. So what we have to do is to become the yogis first. And one of the signs of a yogi is that he is in his sex life extremely pure. Absolutely purity must exist. And after some time, one should get beyond it. Your relationships with other people, whether it is your sister or a brother or any other woman or any other man, there should be complete purity. And this is extremely important.
Sri Krishna has a samhara shakti. He has the power to kill. He has 4 special things with him, 4 weapons by which he kills. But one of them is this, in his hand is a discus. And this discus is shown around the Saturn, which you see. And with this discus, at any distance, he can destroy. So his destructive powers are built in you. Nobody can destroy you. You have to just get to yourself and become yourself. You'll become so powerful a nation, but powerful in loving, in being compassionate and affectionate. In the real sense of the word, not the way we are now trying to help others. It's not the way, it can be very disgraceful sometimes. The way we try to help others can be very disgraceful. You'll be amazed how sometimes you people have helped and have created problem for others.
About Sri Krishna, whatever is to be said is less than what is said, I always feel. And that his main work is through our brain. That is Virat. He works through our brain. And as Shiva works through our heart, he works through our brain. And after Sahaja Yoga, after enlightenment, all the subtleties of the brain and the knowledge starts manifesting and expressing itself. But the greatest thing that happens, that integration takes place in your brain. It's not that your heart wants one thing and your brain wants another thing. The integration takes place, and when that integration takes place, it's so easy to lead a very dharmic life. Even without thinking about it, without reading about it, you just become dharmic. You are not to be told that you have to be dharmic. Innately, you become dharmic because your brain, which normally is used for rationality, for justifying all that is wrong, becomes dharmic, becomes divine.
The power of Virat is that it can penetrate into the subtle side of human beings in such a manner that everything we are connected. We are not separate. Every drop is connected with the ocean. We are connected with the whole universe. And when you become a citizen, I should say, of Virat, then all the things with which you are connected also get your vibrations, your ideas, your ambitions, everything passes through that. And it works. You have seen how many miracles have taken place in your lives. It is the Virata Shakti that works. Now for that, we have to know how to do worship of Virat. First of all, you have to rise above your ego. Very important. Otherwise, how can you worship? There is your ego standing in between. And how can you rise up to the point of Virat? You have to pass through that. Once you are above your ego, you enter into the kingdom of Virat. Then you belong to Virat. And he uses you for his own purpose, in the sense that when your whole thinking is different, becomes global thinking, then he acts. And then his powers are manifold. And Krishna's power is that he uses a conch to call people. I have given conches to all the leaders. So we have to now announce and call people. But at the level of Virat, you don't have to do all that.
At the level of Virat, it just, people see, they'll know. Just, they will watch you and they will know. Just, they'll think you are human beings and you are so sweet, so good, just like gems shining all the time, so they'll be impressed. This comes through the Virata's blessing. May God bless you all.